Hello students! In today's lesson we will talk about the man who moves mountains. The page is 65 in your books. So let's look at the photos and the title of the text. Where do you think the people are and what do you think the text is about? Okay, we can guess the people are in a village school and it is in the Himalayas, and the text may be about children who go to school in a remote mountain villages. Okay, let's read the text to check the ideas.
The man who moves mountains. Greg Mortensen hates to be called a hero, but in the mountains of Pakistan and Afghanistan, that is what people call him. He has helped them to build more than 60 schools, and this has changed the lives of many young people, especially the girls. But what first brought a white American man to this remote part of the world where tourists rarely go? Greg Mortensen was born in the United States, but grew up in Africa where his parents were teachers. His hobby was mountain climbing. He climbed his first mountain, Mount Kilimanjaro, when he was only 11. Many years later, when his younger sister died suddenly, he decided to climb Pakistan's K2 in her memory. K2 is the second highest mountain in the world. He didn't reach the summit of K2, and after 78 days at high altitude, he was exhausted. On his way back, he got lost and eventually, unable to walk properly, he stumbled into the tiny village of Corfey. The villagers looked after him and nursed him back to health. He soon realized how poor these people were. When he asked to see the village school, they took him to the village square. But there was no school. Instead, the children were sitting on the ground outside, without a teacher, writing in the sand with sticks. He could see that the children were thirsty for knowledge and were doing their best to learn, even in such difficult conditions. So he promised to return and build a school for them. Back in America, he started a program called Pennies for Pakistan. School children asked their friends and families to donate pennies, and the pennies became dollars. After 3 years of fundraising, he went back to Corfey. The villagers were amazed when he kept his promise and built Corfey School for Girls. It was a simple building with 8 classrooms and a small playground. Most of the girls who attend the school will be the first literate women in their families. Their mothers never had the opportunity to learn to read and write. He explains that it is important to provide an education for girls. In the developing world, girls often get married at the age of 12 and have children by 15. But if a girl stays in school, it makes a big difference to her life. She'll marry later, have fewer and healthier children. She can earn an income and invest in her family. Greg Mortensen likes to quote an African proverb. If you educate a boy, you educate an individual. But if you educate a girl, you educate a community.
Okay, let me see. So, what do you think? Why does Greg Mortensen think it is important to educate girls in developing countries? So it is important to educate girls so that they can have a better life and provide a better life for their children, right? Okay, now let's match the words in blue in the text with the definition. Far away or isolated is remote. Top of a mountain is summit, right? Able to read. What do you think? Correct. It's literate. Give money to charity. Donate. Put money into. Invest. Collecting money for a particular purpose. Right, fundraising. Did what he said he would do. Kept his promise. And almost fell, stumbled. I would like you to go through the text again and decide whether these statements are true or false. Let's see. The first statement is Greg Mortensen is a hero to people in the mountains of Pakistan and Afghanistan. What do you think? Is this sentence true or false? Correct. It's true. It took him 78 days to climb to the top of K2. This sentence is false. He was very healthy when he first arrived in Corfu. What do you think? True or false? It's false. The people of Corfu were surprised when Greg came back. This one is true. Most of the mothers in Corfu can't read. True, correct. Greg thinks that if a girl stays in school, she will have more children. This one is false. Moving on to exercise number 6. Listen to a conversation about how pennies for peace began. Complete the sentences with the numbers and then listen again to check.
CD 2. Track 41.
Hi, George. What are you doing?
Oh, I'm just making a poster. I'm collecting money for a children's charity.
Cool. Which charity is it?
It's a charity called Pennies for Peace. A guy called Greg Mortensen started it in 1995. He builds schools in remote places where the people are too poor to build their own schools and too poor to pay $1 a day for a teacher. He believes that every child should have the opportunity to go to school.
Wow. He sounds like an amazing person. Is he rich?
No, not at all. He does a lot of fundraising. When he started, he needed $12,000. That's how much it costs to build a school. So he wrote 580 letters to famous people. He only got one reply.
One reply?
That's right, one reply with a check for $100. So, then he sold everything he had. He even gave up his apartment and slept in his car. But it wasn't enough.
So, what did he do next?
Well, his mother was a teacher in an elementary school. She told her pupils about the villages in Pakistan where there was no school and showed photographs of the children writing in the sand with sticks. The school children were shocked. They couldn't imagine a place where children were so poor. So they asked everybody they knew to donate 1 penny. And after 6 weeks, they had 62,340 pennies.
That's $623.40.
That's right. And that was the beginning of the Pennies for Peace program. Since then, they've collected more than $100,000. And with other fundraising, they've built more than 80 schools.
Why is it called Pennies for Peace?
At first, it was called Pennies for Pakistan. But Greg Mortensen believes that peace in the world starts with education. So, he changed the name to Pennies for Peace.
It sounds brilliant. Can I help?
Yes. You can put one of these posters up in your school.
Please listen to the conversation again and send me your answers on the email that you can see here. And that is all for today. Thank you.